we'll be having it more structured and we'll have more people coming in. We're expecting more than 200, 300 participants going forward. So, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Arvind, and I run this organization called as LI2. So we are partners with the Hexart.in program, right? So Hexart AI Community Center is a CSR initiative by Hexagon, which is a Swedish company, an MNC established in India in Hyderabad as Hexagon Capability Center. And as part of their CSR initiative, with partnership with NASCOM Foundation and LI2 Technologies, have come up with this idea and a mission to promote and bring AI into the forefront among the students of, to begin with students of Telangana, but now we are focusing across the country where we are going to bring this program to life. The vision of this program broadly is to allow for students to explore AI, uh, go through our certification modules, which is already present, free of cost, and allow them to learn, explore, and most importantly, innovate in this domain. The reason for doing this is we believe that AI is the future, and we want that future to be made available to the student community, as well as innovators as soon as possible, right? So this is the broad vision. And over the last, over the last 2 years, 1.5 years, since we have started this initiative, we've been pretty happy to share with you that, been a very successful program, right? So the broadly what this program entails is that one, it is, as I mentioned, a CSR initiative. What do we mean by CSR? Is a corporate social responsibility, where we want to bring AI to the forefront. If you visit our website, hexart.in, you will be able to see the amount of work that's being done right now and how we are taking this forward, right? See, on the forefront, essentially, the most important aspect of this program is that we have courses and certifications available for you to do it. We are continuously building, enhancing, and adding more and more to these courses, right? So we have AI Foundation, which is about a set of 4 courses, and we have AI Advanced, which is a set of about 3 courses that you have. So here you will be learning from the basics, like, what is AI, right up to how to use Python for AI programming, how to get started with machine learning, how to do deep learning, machine learning, image-based solutions, how do you apply it to robotics. There are various aspects to the courses. You can do it whenever you have time, or in your free time. You can just finish these courses. So that will be the stepping stone for you to just understand what is AI. I'm not telling you that if you do these courses you're going to be an expert, but this is a great start. One is obviously you will get certified by NASCOM, Hexagon, as well as LI2. We will be supporting you in that initiative, and whenever you want support and guidance, we are there to help you with these modules, right? So that is one aspect. The other aspect is that we have a program which is a cohort based initiative. What I mean by cohort is that, oops, I think this is essentially in our cohort program. What we do is anybody who is or what you call as an innovator can identify a problem that they find exciting, or we will be defining those problems, and then you can register yourself as a submission of your ideas, and then we will select you and encourage you to build these projects, right? So broadly, as I mentioned, this program is part of the Telangana government's uh, year of AI. That was in 2020 we started, and because of COVID, there was a lot of challenges. But this center that we have in Mehdipatnam, right here, is a state-of-the-art center with GPUs, robotic arms, 3D printers, embedded system solutions, and a bunch of computers, obviously, for you to work through. So these are the things that are available for you to come and work. So now, currently, what has happened in this program? as of now is we have got a very project. Students have completed tuberculosis detection, character recognition and NLP. There is robotics. There is imaging solutions that people have done, and you know, face detection, object IDs. So far, we're trying to work with and Hyderabad, the police department, to see if we can implement. So there are amazing projects that students have done, and mind you, these are all projects that students have done, and you will get access to the codes and the code bases that we already have, so that you can take it forward and build something over and above this, right? So when we look at the impact as of now, right? So we have school children working on various modules. We have college students doing it. So close to about 3,300 participants have, been part of this program. We have close to about 1,500 plus certificates, or maybe even more, that has been issued as of now. And we have 14 projects coming out, three cohorts. So now we are getting into the fourth, and that is why this event for you people. This is our center. You can see the videos and the milestones. We were inaugurated by the Telangana Chief Secretary, Jayesh Ranjan for Industries and Commerce. He was there at the center. He launched it. Now we are very close association with NASSCOM, which is the largest body for all IT companies across India, right? So broadly, why I took a little time off to speak about all this is because I want to make it clear that this is not just a series of webinars, but it is a series of stepping stone for you to be able to innovate with us, to be able to do something beyond your academics. And the best part is your college will be involved. We will ensure that you get the necessary guidance and the necessary attendance or any of these logistical challenges that you might have to be part of this program. We will be ensuring that we can support you through MOUs with the college, so you don't have to worry about it, right? So this is broadly what this program is about. If you wish to ask any questions about this, you can do so right now before we start the session. You can just leave a message, or you can ask, right? So the highlight of this program is it is free for all, and it is based on your convenience and your availability. It is not like you have to attend this and all of that. If you are flexible, we have student ambassador programs, we have internship programs, we have innovation programs, as well as your projects can be done here. You can even get a chance to get recruited by top companies, all of these things, right? It's a great opportunity for you to be part of this, right? So that is one part of what I wanted to convey to you. And now why we are here is, we have our experts with us, Ravi Gupta, who is the center head, and he is a technology enthusiast who has worked with us for many years now. And now he's at the center in Hyderabad. Anytime you can talk to him, the details are on the website. Reach out to him and enroll yourself as a student, volunteers, interns, or any of these things, right? So that is one part of it. And please stay in touch with Ravi and take it forward. And then we have also Mr. Shubham Singh, who was the person who actually started this program for us in Hyderabad. He's an expert in deep learning and AI. He has worked on various projects. Currently, he's pursuing his research, doctorate research. He's just getting started with that, and he's based out of Delhi, but he keeps visiting our center. And he is going to drive these sessions, a series of webinars that we have. With his expertise in AI, I would find a great opportunity for you to interact with him, not only during these sessions, but we will have a one-to-one session, chat sessions, and other things that we will be starting from this month, right? Apart from Mr. Shubham, we also will have various professors and scientists from across the country and abroad from Hexagon to interact with you in this webinar series, right? To begin with, we want to give you the basic foundations of what is AI. and then go into even fundamental than AI. What is Python? Why Python is important? How Python will play a role in your AI? Building AI solutions and machine learning solutions. What is the stepping stone? We'll start from there. All recorded sessions in a structure along with codes and everything. So that's something that we will get started with, and then we will go deeper. What is how do you do image processing on machine using machine learning? How do you do build simple intelligent systems? How do you solve imaging categorization? How do you go? How do you build a network? How do you do NLP? All of these modules are going to fit into this scope of things, right? So we have one Dr. Kapil Gupta who's expressed his interest to see if he can help us in curriculum building and training the students. He is a professor from NIT Kurukshetra, right, Shubham? Dr. Kapil Gupta is from NIT Kurukshetra. He's an expert there. And a couple of other experts, we are trying to get them in. So it all depends on how you as students and participants show interest, build exciting projects, and then we can take it forward. As I mentioned, already 3,000 plus students have been part of this program. 15 projects have come through, right? So with not much ado, I would like to give the floor to Shubham. So this session right now will be more of a steps and things that how you get started, because I am assuming some of you who will be seeing these recorded sessions later will be from very entry level background. That is, you might be just in first years or second years. You've just started with AI. You like the idea of AI, but you don't know what to do. This is the place to be, right? This is the place to start with. So welcome aboard. Thank you for joining this session. And Shubham, please give an overview of the session and take it forward. Thank you so much, people. My name is Arvind, and I'm the director of LI2. We are the implementing partners for this initiative by Hexagon and NASCOM Foundation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arvind. So, hello guys, my name is Shubham Kumar Singh, and Arvind has already given an introduction. So, Arvind, can you stop? Okay, let me start sharing first.
At any given point in time, people, you can still invite your friends and also have asking, you can chat and ask some questions in the meantime if you wish to, so that we can support you, right? So feel free. Any doubts that you have, you can join in, right? And there is a registration form for your, registration for the participant certificate that you would need at the end of the workshop. So please fill that in the chat section. And Shubham will be sharing. Shubham will be sharing the collab. All right. So I'm signing off right now. If you have any questions, please reach out to me later. To the floor, Shubham and Ravi, take it forward. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. So, please open this link in your browser. So, if you open this link, it should take you to this particular sheet. You might need to log in here. You guys might need to log in here, but you have to open this link. So please go ahead. Let me know when it's done, when you open this link. Just put a message in the chat section when you open this link. While you're doing that, I hope that everyone has gone through a course in C or C++, so knows basic programming fundamentals. Okay, so basically when I say variables, loops, conditionals, you should know what I'm talking about. Okay, how it is going to be implemented, that I'll show you here, but at least you should know that. Okay, what do you mean when I say a loop or a block or a code or a file or a module? Anyway, so this course or this series of courses, they are basically meant for artificial intelligence. So this particular series of workshops is in no way a course in Python. Okay guys, full clarification, this is not a course in Python, but I am going to teach you just enough Python so that you can implement the algorithms of machine learning. Okay, Python is very big and covering it in just 2-3 workshops is not going to be possible. Okay, I can give you an overview of Python, I can help you understand what's going on, and I can help you start writing code in Python. Okay, that's the easy part. Going through Python and learning it, that's a different story. So let me just show you. If you search for Python, okay, in this website, if you want to know how to install Python and how to get started on your system, you can go directly to the downloads, and here there are other platforms. So if you are on Windows, go to this link for Windows, and if you are other platform, probably Linux has Python already installed, Linux and Mac. So if you're on Linux and Mac, don't worry about it, but if you're on Windows, you see here, now if we will go and we will start with Python 3. Okay, because Python 2 is going to be outdated very soon, so please don't worry about it. Go for Windows installer, and probably your system will be a 64-bit architecture, so know about it. But those who are working on 32-bit architecture, download this 32-bit one. Most probably, and like I'm saying this 99% sure, your system will be a 64-bit architecture. So once installed, once downloaded, you can just click on this, install now. So hold on. Okay. So just restart again. Okay, here add this option also. So you don't have to add the path also. I mean, this is the first time. Now after this, go to install now. Select yes. Okay, while you're doing that, those who have programmed in C, there are two types of languages: compiled languages and interpreted languages. In compiled languages, C and C++ are compiled languages, by the way. In compiled languages, the whole code goes through the compiler, which should be dev C++ if you are using on Windows, or if you are using it on Linux, it will be GCC. So you first compile it into a machine code and then you execute that machine code. Okay, so the whole program gets compiled into a machine code first, and then that machine code is executed. This is the structure of compiled languages. Interpreted languages, on the other hand, they don't compile the entire program. They take one line, execute it, take the second line, execute it, and then move on like that. So in that way, if suppose that you have 100 lines code in a program and there is an error in line number 75, so in a compiled language like C or C++, it will give you an error before your program ran. And in a language like Python, which is an interpreted languages, the first 74 lines will be executed first, and when the 75th line is getting executed, then it will give you an error. So this is the basic difference between compiled and interpreted language. Okay, now let's close this. Okay, now let's minimize all this for a while. Okay, now if you go to your program, you'll see here that recently added we have just three things: manual, idle, and this Python 3.10. So let me start with this first. Okay. So this is idle. This is like a basic Python interpreter, and basically this is the most basic version of Python interpreter or Python compiler, and this comes pre-installed with Python. Okay, so here if I want to execute a program or a line, which both happens to be the same in this case, I can just type, suppose I want to print the hello world program, typical hello world. In C, we have to write hash include studio.h. After that, we have to define a function called main. Inside that main, we have to put a printf statement, and then in that printf statement, we have to pass in the string which happens to be hello world, and then it prints. Here, I can just do this. And execute it. So right now, this is just executing this one particular line. Okay. Let me close this for now, and then let me show you the other Python interpreter. Again, this is the same thing, but this is a bit terminal based. So here again we can do the same thing, and it is also printed the output. Okay, and after that we have another way of doing this, which is basically, let me just open notepad. And let me save this as hello dot py. So C, C++, the extension for C programs was .c, the extension for C++ programs was .cpp, and the extension for Python programs are .py. Okay, I'm saving it in documents. Okay, once saved, let me just open command prompt, and here, okay, command from this part, like how we used to, if you want to compile, those who are familiar from Linux or Mac, it's the command in Linux or Mac is Python 3. The command in Windows is py3. Let me, it's just py in Python here. So we have to do py. How did I save it? It's not defined. Why? So, as you guys can see, this has the output from the Python. So now if I can see here in documents, there's no object file. This entire single Python file itself got executed. Okay. So there are multiple ways in which we can execute Python codes, as I just showed you. But the most easy way and the best way for aspiring data scientist to do is to use a interactive Python notebook which is web based. So your entire platform will be web based, and one such platform is called Google Collaboratory. Okay, so if you, that was the link we opened. uh, so now if you open this collab.research.google.com, or even better yet, instead of doing this, just Google Collab, search Collab. This link will come, research.google.com. Welcome to Collaboratory Google Research. Open this link. Now what this will do is, here you can just file notebook. Okay. Here, once you click connect, what it will do is it will connect you to a virtual machine. Okay, you don't have to pay for this. This is completely free. So you just need to have a Gmail account. From that same Google account, you can open your Collaboratory, and this is completely free of cost. Now, as you can see, once your this particular icon shows you, this means that now your notebook is connected to a virtual machine. So this is basically a code editor and compiler and IDE based on cloud environment, and Google is sharing this with you for free. And the best part is this has a GPU access. So if you can see here in this runtime, if I click on runtime and I click on this change runtime type, here I can see this hardware accelerator. Here I can select a GPU or a TPU. Okay, so when we will come to deep learning, and which will require some very heavy computations, we can optimize it with GPU, and we can easily do it. So you don't have to worry about the processing power of your system right now. You can just, any system which is capable of running a browser is capable of running a machine learning code with this tool. So let me just save this. Now here we will execute the same hello world example. And if you want to execute this, just click on this cell here. Okay, so this executed on this file. Another shortcut of executing is to press shift plus enter. Okay, shift plus enter. If you press shift plus enter, it will execute this and will create a new line. So it's 10:44 right now. I'm giving you till 10:47. Okay, open this particular link. Sorry, this one. Okay, the link to this particular notebook is given here in your chat section. Okay. This is the link for that file. Okay, so open this link, and when you open this link, go to file and select on make a copy of this notebook. Just do it, save a copy in drive. So this will save a copy of this particular notebook in your drive. Okay, once you have done this, do this language fundamentals underscore and put your name here. Okay, so basically if it will use mine, I will do it like this. Put your name like this, so that that will become your notebook. So whatever you do, whatever problems you will have, you can just share it with me, and I can fix it in that particular notebook itself. Okay, so do this much, and then we will continue at 10:48. If you have any doubts, you can ask me here itself. Let me know when it's done. Okay, so when you have done that, please ping done in the message box. Okay, so let's continue ahead. Now, like I said, this is not a typical Python course. This is basically a primer of Python, or basically a prerequisite part of Python, which will help you understand machine learning and implement machine learning algorithms. Okay, so this Python workshop, this is divided into 4 notebooks. This is one notebook, that the first notebook that we are seeing here. So the first notebook will be a basic introduction of syntax and other language fundamentals. In the second notebook, we will be exploring the fundamentals of NumPy. So NumPy is a Python library which helps you in numerical calculation. So if you have even done a hello world program in C, the first line that you write is hash include angular brackets studio.h. This one. Let me just see, if you want to add a cell here, anything like code or this, you can just basically do this. Click on the code when you come in this boundary of 2 cells. So the first line that whatever you write there is this one. Now in this line, what you are basically telling the C compiler to do is to include a library called studio.h. Now here the studio.h is a library of input output functions from the standard input and output stream. This library gives you functions like printf, which lets you print statements to the standard output stream, which is your monitor. Same way, numpy is a library of numerical calculation. So matrix multiplication, creating a transpose of a matrix and stuff like that, all those linear algebra operations which we might need in machine learning, all those are implemented in numpy. So in the second notebook we will be exploring those. In the third notebook we will be exploring pandas. So pandas is a library for data manipulation. Now machine learning cannot exist without data. So all the loading data to a machine learning program, cleaning it, modifying it, all those things, that they will be covered in the third notebook using pandas. And we also need to make sense of data and data. Suppose I have 1 terabyte of data which is just pure and simple numbers. I can't comprehend it in my brain. Even the smartest guy on this planet can't do it because it's just too big. Now their visualizations help because they help us understand, okay, have a feel of what what kind of data set are we looking at. So as a data scientist, visualization techniques are very important, and that we will be covering in notebook 4. Okay, so in the first notebook, basically any language has two things: a syntax and sorry, a vocabulary, or which we say keywords, or the language of the words that we use in the language, and syntax or the grammar rules. And this is valid for any language, be it a computer programming language or a language which we as humans speak and write. Any language has only these two basic components. Python is also the same in that way. Now in this, the syntax or the grammar rules of Python are almost similar to English. So this is why we find it very easy to use and understand. But there is a very important difference in programming in Python and in programming in strongly typed language like, let's say, C or C++. Python is much more flexible than C or C++, but this flexibility can be overwhelming for a first few days. So if you have any issues regarding even the basic concept, please do not hesitate to ask away, because it can be off-putting when we use Python as compared to coming from a background like C or C++. Because number one, there are no semicolons, there are no braces in Python. Anything and everything to do with blocks is defined in a block which is separated by a tab. I will explain this further, but there are similar rules. So if you think that okay, you are not getting the hang of this particular concept, or there is one simple basic error which you are stuck at, and you are not able to find okay what I am doing wrong here, please do not hesitate to ask away. All the notebooks and all the workshops that we will be doing for moving forward will be done in Google Colab, and I would strongly recommend you to follow along and to execute those cells yourself, and have a feel of that. Okay, so in this particular notebook we will be covering variables, data types, conditionals are the if else statements, loops, strings, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries. List, tuple, sets, and dictionaries. These are the four data sets of Python, or sorry, four data structure or data types of Python. Function modules and libraries, they are the same thing that you know in C. So a function in C, or how you have seen it in C. Python is also same. That the way Python defines a function is different, but the basic construct of function is the same. Same goes for modules, same goes for libraries. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with variables. Okay, now first of all, Python is a high level language. Now, what do I mean when I say high level language? If you have studied computer architecture, you know that in C you can manipulate the actual pointers, or which are the location of memories in RAM. So a language like C gives you access to RAM level memory locations. Python does not let you give that. What Python does is, since it is an interpreted language, it needs to run in a platform which is independent of computer architecture. And the way it is achieved is, Python creates its own virtual machine, which is the Python code which we executed there. So the idle, the Python shell, or even this Google Colab, this is running on a Python virtual machine. That virtual machine is then running on your local system, or in this case, the actual cloud. So that layer of abstraction actually limits you to access the actual hardware RAM access. Now, in one way it's good, in one way it's bad. It's good in the sense that okay, no one will be able to create a situation like Stack Overflow and crash your system. It's bad in the sense that it makes the system a bit slow. So Python is actually like 5 times slower than C. Now, since Python is a high level language, it gives you some flexibility. So in C, when you're defining a variable, You need to define, okay, it is of type integer, or it is of type float, or it is of type character, or it is a string. You need to define that beforehand. If you are defining an array, you need to define what type it is, you need to define what length it is, because Python then allocates the space in RAM accordingly. And the when Python code executes, it executes on the processor itself. It does not execute on a virtual machine. So the memory required by the memory required by C is actually the whole size of RAM. In case of Python, since it is working on a virtual machine, it can have as much memory it wants, but it can have that virtual memory. So since it has its own virtual memory, it does not need to know beforehand what kind of object you are storing. So variables are, you just need to define a variable name, which is this one, in this case myvar, and you can assign anything to myvar. So here I'm assigning an integer. I'm assigning an integer 5 to myvar, and then I'm printing this output here. After that, I'm assigning a value float to myvar, and then I'm again printing that output here. After that, I'm assigning a string here, hello friends typilo, and then I'm again printing that output here. Let's run this. Okay, so you see in first case it printed 5, in the second case it printed 7.5, in the third case it printed the string. Okay, now here printf is a built-in function. Okay, Python has a philosophy of called batteries included. What that means is Python by itself, just by when you are installing Python, even at that instance it comes with a huge ton of libraries pre-installed. Those libraries have tons of functions and modules in them, so there are a ton of things that you can do with Python. Okay, and all of them have some functions which are in this case called built-in functions. So all the functions which come in standard with Python, official Python functions, they are called BIFs. Okay, print is one of them, and basically what it will do is it will print that output to the standard output. So in C, in the case of C, we need to include the stdio.h library to gain access to the input and output streams. Here it comes predefined. I just need to use this function. Okay. So anything and everything is an object in Python. Here, even this 5 is an object, this 7.5 is an object, this string is also an object. So variables just store objects, or any data type in Python for that matter, they are defined on objects. An object can be anything. It can be a Boolean value, it can be a string, it can be a number, it can be a float, it can be anything. Any data type which is allowed in Python, it can be an object. And all the data structures that are defined, they are defined on objects. So in that way, any data structure can hold any type of data. Now, these are the data types that Python supports. Okay, so we have text. In numeric types, we have integer, we have float, we have complex. In sequence types, which is iterated list, we have list, tuple, range. In maps, we have dictionaries or dict. In set types, we have set and frozen set. So sets are basically the same set that you know from mathematics in set theory. Okay, it behaves like a list, but it has all the operations of sets. We'll come to that in some time. Boolean values are true or false. Binary types are binary values which we want to store in Python, and none type is basically a non-variable or the null variable if you are from C and C++ background. Okay. So here you can see that okay, we are assigning some values here. So here in this case, we are assigning this string, and this string is a variable, and we are passing a value of a string to this. Similarly, here we are passing a value 5, and here we are passing a value 7.5. Now this is a list. Now as I said, Python, everything in Python is an object, and all the data types that are defined, they are defined on objects. Now if you attempted to do this in C, it will give you a data type mismatch error. First you need to define that okay, this list or this array has to be of integer or something, and then you have to put in the values of that data type only. If you put some other values, it will give you an error. But in Python, this is just, you can put numbers, you can put a string, you can put other variables, and other variables can have different type. Now another interesting thing is that, okay, this is a very var string which is currently pointing to, this is a string. Okay, let me just print this here. Okay, now another interesting thing about Google Colab or such interactive notebooks. Sorry, I'll keep explaining about Google Colab in between like this so that you are get familiar with this. Is that this only executes this particular cell. It won't execute anything that was executed before. But all these variables, they are still stored in the main memory. So you can access it in this cell, but it will only execute all the code which is in this cell. Once you get used to this, I would suggest that in this week you explore a lot of Colab. Once you get used to this, this tool will be a lifesaver for your data science career. Okay, so here if I am printing, so now you can see that this is printing this list and it is printing it as it is. This now this line, this is a string. This is coming from here because we have put this var string here, and this var string values, this is a string. Now if I change this, let's say 9.8, 9.5, fine. Okay, if I change this and then I print this, you see it is giving me 9.5. So I have done no changes here in var list. So now when you're putting this variable here, Python is not passing the value of the string, Python is passing the reference of the string. But Python doesn't let you manipulate this reference like we do in C. So in C, if you wanted to go to the next address of this pointer, this is also a pointer, this var underscore str, this is a pointer to this particular variable which has currently this value of 9.58 stored. But if you wanted to go to the next memory location in C or in C++, we can just do it ampersand var underscore str plus 1. This. This would have given us the next memory location, but we can't do it in Python because Python does not have this ampersand operator. And this is done because Python does not want to let you manipulate its addresses. Python wants to manipulate it according to its own algorithms, which is a good thing. You don't have to take headaches about pointers anymore. Now, similarly, this is a tuple. Now, a tuple is also just like a list, but the only difference between a list and a tuple is list can be manipulated and modified afterwards after they are created. A tuple cannot be modified after they are created. Since a list can be modified after they are created, once it's created, they are called mutables, or which can mutate after it's created. Tuples are of that kind of data type which cannot be mutated afterwards. So they are called immutables. Like once created, you can't change its values. Okay. Now this is a set. Basically, all the sets, these are like list, but apart from one change, they don't allow duplicates, and they don't let you they let you have set operations. So you can have a union of two sets, you can have an intersection of two sets, you can have a minus b, you can have b minus a, all that you can execute from this set theory. This is a boolean value which takes a value of either true or false. This will convert this string since I have specified this b parameter here before the string, this will convert this string into a binary sequence and then store that binary sequence of bytes into this variable bytes. And this is a none variable which basically points to nothing. It points to none. Okay. Now here these are conditionals. Now see, like I said, Python does not have any semicolons or braces. Now for here, I'm just declaring a variable num which is equal to as I've assigned the value of 5. Okay, you can't do this in Python. You can't just declare a variable without assigning a value. If you want to do it, you will have to do it like this. Only when you assign a value to a variable name, only then a variable is created in Python. Okay, so I'm assigning the value of 5 here, and after this, I'm just comparing this. So if num is equal less than 7, now here there are no brackets also. So whatever comes after if is the if condition. Now this has to evaluate to a statement. Now I can put it in brackets also like this, but these are not necessary in Python. Now after this, how does it know that okay there are other statements which are coming afterwards? So the compiler will understand it from this columns here. After the column, whatever comes after one tab space, this has to be one tab, not one space bar, one tab, always. So it has to be this one tab space. Now, since tab is configured to two space bars in this one, it is displaying two spaces. In your system, if your tab is configured to 8 space bars, it will show in 8 spaces. Okay, so here it has whatever comes after one space of tab, one indentation later, that will be assigned to this particular if block. Okay, so here the number is less than 7. Now let me put it in 15 and let's run this again. Now here, since it's greater than 7, it will not print anything. Now let's try and create a program which checks whether number is positive or not. So here I have taken the number here, this. After this, I am checking, okay, first condition, check if number is less than 0. If it is less than 0, print number is negative. Okay, similarly, coming from one space tab. Now I want to come out of this if block. Okay, so next line is starting from this line. It does not have this two space. It does not have this two space indent. If I do it like this, if I do it like this, it will be assigned this whole space from here to here will be assigned to this if block. Okay, now here in Python, else if is shortened to elif. So else if is not valid, elif is valid. So if elif else, this is the if else if ladder of C and C++. And Python does not have a switch case. Remember that. So if you have switch case statements like that, you need to implement it using if else only. Okay. Now if the number is equal to 0, print number is 0 and 0 is considered a positive number. Else, now if this condition fails, it will check this condition. If this condition fails, it evaluates to false, it will check this condition. If this also evaluates to false, it will print the last condition irrespective of whatever the condition is. Okay, so if these two fail, this will get executed. Okay, now here if number is not less than 0 and number is not equal to 0, which means number is greater than 0, which is a positive number. So we don't need to specify the condition for that. That is obviously the last case. So let's check it. Shift enter. Number is 0, which is positive. Let's do 10. Number is positive, 10 is positive. Now let's do negative 10. Okay, now let's do negative 10.5. Okay, because it is comparing in floats to integers. Now what will happen if I do this? This will give me an error. Comparison operator not supported between instances of string and integer. Now if you want to convert string to an integer, you have to cast it manually. So there are two ways. First is do to the integer class. Now here it will do it. You can even convert it to float. Number is positive. Okay. Now if you want to ask the user about something, there is a function called input. So like print pushes things to the standard output stream. Input fetches things from the standard input stream. These standard input and output streams are basically defined at your operating system level, so you don't need to take attention about that. Okay. Now here it is asking me please enter a number. Let me give you number 15. Okay. Now it is again giving me an error. What is the error? It is of type error. Comparison operator is not supported between instances of string and integer, because whatever input I am giving through this function, it returns to me as a string. So I need to convert this into an integer. So let me cut this, that integer, and then put it inside here. Okay. So now what it will do is, first it will take this input. So whatever input I will give, it will come in the form of a string. Then it will put that inside this. Okay. This is the same as doing this. It is the same thing as doing this. So what this line is doing is, it is taking the input from the user and storing it into the variable called string num. Now again, what this line will do is, it will take the value stored in string num and convert it into an integer. So instead of writing this 2 lines of code, you can just put this flex inside this one. Okay. Now let's try this. Okay. Now let's come to loop. Now in looping, Python supports 2 types of loops, just like most languages. And in those 2 types of loops, we have the for loop and a while loop. Now, here's an interesting thing. Python clarifies 2 things as object and sequence of objects. Now, sequence of objects can be many things. It can be a list, it can be a tuple, it can be a set, it can be a dictionary, it can be a map, it can be all of this. It can be a collection of objects, it can be a collection of classes. Anything which is a collection, for loop can iterate over it. Okay. While loop will keep iterating while the condition is true. So the same concept that you learned in C or C++, the same is valid in Python also. You just need to know the syntax. So now here, let me just here in this case, I have created A, and A is a list of 5 integers, and B is a string of characters. Basically, this is a single string. Now here for I in A, so I is a variable, just like we define in a normal for loop, which we write in C, which goes something like this. Okay, I don't think this a.length function is supported in C. It's supported in C++. Okay, so in C we have to do all this. Now here, this I just declared this variable here for I in A. So Python will automatically take care of all the length problems and increments. So all of this is also not needed. Okay, for I in A. So all for every item in A, though that item will be referred by the loop variable this I, print I. Similarly, for every element in B, this I will refer to that element at that particular time. This will print that element. You can, instead of I, you can do any variable. So you can do J also, or you can do whatever you want. You have to declare, okay, what kind of variable it is, or how it will increment or not. So here, first you see, first it is printing me the numbers of my array, which is 1 2 3 4 5, which were the numbers of my array. Then it is printing all the characters of my name, Shubham Kumar Singh. Now let's put another code cell here. Let me try something else. I'll explain this in a bit. Hold on. Those kind of things won't be supported in Python. I was just checking if it supported the index kind of situation or not. Anyways. Uh, that was the loop syntax, and sorry, that was the Python loop syntax. So it works on the entire range. If you don't know the range of any function, so let's say that I want to know the length of this beforehand. Instead of giving the whole range to that function, we can do it like this. Or I in range length. Okay, so this will be the normal C++ type or C or C++ type syntax. Okay. These are the 4 ranges of values. So this is the index at which the value is stored, and this is the value which is being displayed. So in the first index, which is 0, we have the value 1. Again, the first value is 0, again we have value 1, and so on and so forth. So this is going on like this. So this is how, if you want to access it in the way of C or C++ or Java, you can do it like that also. But you don't have to define, okay, this has to be an integer or anything like that. Now, in numbers, sorry, the while loop. Basically, this will evaluate if this condition is true or false. If this condition is true, it will execute the loop. If condition is false, it won't execute the loop. So here I'm doing the same thing. I'm taking a loop counter here. Here I need to define that loop counter, but I don't need to define what kind of, again, what kind of variable it is. I just need to type in the variable name and pass in the value. Now, if this num is greater than equal to 0, continue this loop, print number is positive, and then decrease number by 1. This is the same way of saying, okay, let me comment this line and put this num is equal to num minus 1. The same way of doing that also. So instead of doing this, I can just do minus equal to. Python does not support that plus plus or minus minus operator, so we can't do this. Num plus plus, we can do this one. Instead of 5, if I do 7, it will give me that also. Okay. Now coming to strings. Now a string is just like any other string in any other programming language, is a string of characters, and characters are basically anything that we see or type or do in the world. Any character. It can be of English language, it can be of Hindi language, it can be of Tamil, Telugu, any language of characters. The current Unicode supports any character of the word, and it has a character set. When you store a string in a memory location, actually these character codes are the one thing that gets stored. So here you will be seeing as A. When it is stored in a memory location, it is stored as a character code of A, which is a standard character code. So this way, language manipulates strings, not as characters, but as those special character codes. So here, as you can see, that I am assigning these two strings, and it can have any of these characters whatsoever, and I'm printing them. Now here's something interesting can happen here. Let me print. Print B. Okay. Now if I do print B, and I can access it via this number system also. If I'm doing 25, so this is giving me the 25th letter of this B from the start, or basically 26th letter. Sorry, if I do this B colon B, so this will give me from starting till 25th. So here you can see that, okay, 25th letter is not being not being displayed. So if I'm removing this, this is giving me this 25th letter, which is G, which is here, this one. This is the 25th letter. Okay, but if I'm doing this from colon B, this is going till this point. So basically it is giving me from here till here, till here. This G is not included. So this is called a slice of a string, and a slice can be of any sequence, which I explained earlier. Not just for strings, it can be of slice of a string, a slice of a list, slice of a data set, slice of anything. So this way you can very easily manipulate Python strings or any sequences for that matter. Now suppose, let me first give you the basic syntax of this. So here, let's say that this is string variable. So the way this works is, a slice has three components. Slice is first depicted by these square brackets, and it has three components: the start, colon, the stop, colon, and the step. Okay. So start is the point from where you want to start this. So since here in this case, I am not giving the start value, I'm just giving after the column stop value. So if you give no values, it will be just the letter of that. So it will just display G. This column is necessary to initiate a slice of it. Okay. So starting, since I'm not given any values, starting from the beginning, and stop, where does it has to stop? Stop has to stop at 25. Okay, so this is the 25th letter and it will stop just before that. It won't include this 25 value. Okay, and after that, what is the step? So since I have not defined any step, it is giving me one. Now let me do this. Comment out, and let me do this 5 to 25. So it will start from 5 and will go till 25. So this is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth is the I. This is the fifth letter. Sorry, I. It is starting from this I and it is going till here. Okay. Now here, if I do this, 2, it will skip the second letter. So from I, after I, it is going to G, and after G, it is going to it is skipping this step and it is going to C. Now, if I remove both of this, you go from start to beginning, and it will give me this slice. If I just remove this, it has no meaning. Okay. If I just start from 25 and then go like this, it will go from 25 till end, the first value. And if I again do this 2, so 25 till end, but skipping one letter. If I do this 25 to 3, this will give me this letter. Okay. If I do this 00 -1, it will reverse the string in place. I don't have to do anything else. This will reverse the string also. Okay, so it's 27. I'm giving you 3 minutes to just execute a few of these strings and slices and come back at 30, or let's say 32, 11:32. Okay, just play around with the string a few bit and basically come to this strings cell in your collab notebook. We'll continue at 11:32. Has everyone reached in that point? The string slide. Just ping yes or no in the message box. Okay. So getting hang of the slices will come in. Sorry, am I speaking or not? Getting a hang of the slices will take some time, so don't worry about it. As you go along, we will be using a lot of it, and I will be explaining each and every time, so you'll get a hang of it. Lists are just like any other array that you have studied in your C++, but it comes with a few more functionalities. Okay, so I can have different types of elements stored in a list, and it will just accept it like it's no big deal. Plus, I can also do this. See, this A I have defined here. This A I can access in this cell also. So it is there in the virtual machine. Just won't be accessible via normal exist. So this I have declared in this cell. So it works like a single program, but it will only execute the cell which you are running in this one. Okay. So if I do a dot pop, okay. Now this has removed this popped this element. So if you have studied a little bit about stacks, you know that pop just removes the last element which was added. Okay. Now again after this, if I do a, now this one does not have this value, and again here if I stop the assignment, if I'm printing a here, this won't have this 5.2 value. Why? Because all this was done through that was reference of a variable a, and when I popped a here in this particular cell, it popped a from the memory location that was stored. So all references have the access to the same memory location. So even if one pointer changes something to that memory location, it change will be valid throughout all of that. Okay, Python overcomes like if you want to have two different variables of the same name, you have to declare it in two different scopes. What are scopes? They will come in later. Okay. Similarly, we have tuples. So tuples once created, they can't be changed. You can create a new tuple from the old tuple value. So let me just do this. What do I mean when this can't be changed? So let me just show you this. Print. Now this A1 is currently referring to this 2 value here. Now if I do this, this will give me an error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. But if this were a list, so instead of this, now I have converted this tuple into a list. Now If I do this, a1 is equal to 5, and now if I print a1, it's 155. So uh, a list can be changed, but a tuple can't be changed once created. Now, sets are also like lists, but they allow operations like A union B and B union A. So, let's say that I have defined these two sets here, and sets are defined with curly braces. Okay, so let's say that I have defined these two sets here. So when I do A union B, so it will put all elements of this plus all elements of that minus duplicate entries. So we have A here, after that 1 2 3, after the C 4 5 D B, and it will store it in any order it pleases. So the order in which you are putting things in is not maintained in a set. Always remember that. Whatever order you put things in, the order can be jumbled up. Okay. B union A is also the same thing. It has the same elements, but see, in this case it has one order, in this case it has a different order. Okay, but the elements are same and order has been changed. A difference B, so this is A minus B elements, and I can also do this. So these are just the common elements between A and B. Okay. Next comes the dictionaries. So dictionaries are just key value pairs. So what does it mean by key value pair? Now here I have declared a dictionary A, and in this dictionary I have declared three key value pairs. So let me just do this so that you see even more clearly. So the first key value pair is this one, separated by a comma. Okay, so this is a key value pair. Now here the first thing is a key, which is name. Okay, the second thing is the value associated with this key, which is Shubham Kumar Singh. The second key is called gender, and this is the value associated with this is called male. The second thing is the third key is age, and that associated with this is 27. Now what it will do is it will create such a structure in the heap, and it will store this value accordingly. So if you want to access any particular value associated with this, you can just access it through that particular value of key. So when I'm printing A, it is let me execute this. Now if I'm printing A, it will give me give me the whole dictionary. If I'm doing this print A name, so this will just give me the value associated with this particular key. And if I'm looping through this, it is only giving me the key value pair. Suppose that I do this for I in A. Okay. Now if I do this A dot, now in order to get that value is another thing better will be able to do is A. If I do this, then I'll get only the value. Now if I want both key and values, okay, this is giving me the key value pair as tuples. Now here I can do I hyphen 0 to get only the values. Sorry, only the keys, and I hyphen 1 to get only the values. And if I do just I, give me the key value pairs. Okay. So these are things which, as you go along, you'll get more familiar to this, and even if you have to Google it 100 times to get familiar, don't worry about it, because Python is so big that you can't keep it in your head. So it's better to keep it in the web and only put things which are necessary for your machine learning part, which are the concepts, algorithms, data structures, model building techniques, all those things. Keep focus on those. So this is the way we will take this entire workshop series forward. Okay. Now this workshop is extended to 11:42. Our initial plan was to keep it at 11:30. So we will stop this workshop right here. After this, our next workshop will be on NumPy. Till then, I would uh, ask you to explore this notebook further. You almost know the basic construct, so create a few programs, and even better, create those programs which you have already created in C language, create those programs in Python language. So that way you'll have a better understanding of the language itself. And you can see, okay, how similar it is to C, how different it is to C, and then you can figure out, okay, what are the things that you need to learn and go on accordingly. If you want to know about some particular function or a particular method of Python, if you want to Google about it, the best place to do it is either the Python docs or the W3 school. So search Python W3 schools. Here you'll get about all the details and all about each and every syntax of Python. Okay, and it's this is like your Google reference tool. So if you are stuck anywhere and you want to know about this, uh, just click on any topic and then you can have those values here. Okay, and best part is this is a completely free resource. This is a completely free resource. So this could be your another place to do this is this one. Python documentation. Okay, so this also has a tutorial built in. So here you can have the official documentation about any particular topic. Okay, and this is like this official documentation. Okay. So you can move ahead with this. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I will be available on with the next workshop. So if you have any question regarding this, you can ask me then before the workshop, or you can even mail those to Ravi, and we can get them sorted out. If you want to have a session in between to understand some concept about that, you can also get in touch with Ravi and we can schedule something. So this brings an end to our first workshop. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Is there any WhatsApp or Telegram channels we can join? Ravi, can you help with that in this part? Ravi, are you with us?
Yeah, yeah, we have a WhatsApp group, WhatsApp for our Hexart.
Okay. So please help us.
It's on number is on site.
Arvind, would you like to add anything?
Well, I think it was a good session, and I am looking forward for you people who attend the session today, and also the rest of your friends and other people who will further use these recorded sessions to participate in our cohort program and see how you can innovate with us. And this is just the beginning. This is, as I mentioned clearly, this is not only a courses or sessions and training programs. That's the fundamental stepping stone for all of you to look at how you can use this knowledge to innovate and build your career, which is beyond your academics, beyond your whatever you're learning at your institutes. So we welcome you on board to join the cohort program, also be part of the Hexart community, and take it forward. Any questions you may have or any specific discussions you would want to do, you could just leave a WhatsApp message on the number on the website. So our team would get back to you, and you can always email us at hexart@li2.in. The email ID is again mentioned on the website, and you can stay in touch. Any questions, people? You can just chat up or you can ask us. Thank you so much. Shubham, are we ending the session, or is there anything you want to add further? Where can we get update about the next session? Yes. So as I mentioned, people have already.
Arvind, we lost you.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
we lost you in the middle.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So basically, I was telling that you can contact us on WhatsApp, and how will we know about the next session? Yes, the same page, the event page. You can just log in, and please register yourself here for your participation letters will be issuing you, for being part of this program, and we will be intimating you if you're registered with us. All the students will be getting an email communication whenever a new program is happening, and we are just putting up our social media handles and all of that this time, so you can keep looking there. Once you follow us, we'll share all of those details in the next week before this program, and you will be getting an notification from us. If you're registered with us, all of you will be intimated about the next programs. So Shubham, you can, if there is any closing remarks, or if you want them to look at something, and you can just close the session. Thank you so much, people.
Okay, in closing remarks, I have just this to say. The next session will be on next Sunday, most probably. Okay, between this time, please explore as much about Python as you can. Okay, uh, whatever we do here, it won't mean anything if you don't do it on your end, if you don't go ahead and practice yourself. So I would recommend that, okay, you have that Google Colab sheet now, go ahead and explore it in there only. Look at about loops, look at about data structures, do some pattern printing programs and all that kind of stuff. So get yourself familiar with Python syntax. Where can we get this recorded session? This will be shared with you on the WhatsApp group if you join.
The recorded sessions will go on the events page. We will be having a structured page specifically for all our recorded structured programs, and it will also be appended into our courses, right? So we are constantly upgrading our courseware. Initially, it was more conceptual. Now it is going to be more hands-on, so that you can start building projects with us and do innovations with us. So it'll all be on the portal. Once you're a member of the portal, you will get access to all the content, right? So we will be sharing that with you in a more structured manner, right? It's not just going to be the recordings that we will put up. It'll be more structured. So we will be doing that.
Okay, so that's it from my side. See you next week, guys.
Ravi, you want to add anything? So basically, you have to stay in touch with Ravi because he's going to be at the center. So whenever you wish to visit our center and explore something at the center, you please contact the number that we shared with you. It's also on the website. Take an appointment and visit the center and take it forward from there. There is a bunch of things that you can do, from robotics to AI to embedded systems. So many opportunities are there. So please don't miss that.
Okay, so
Ravi, is there anything you want to add, or we will end the session?
let's end the session.
Sir, that's all, sir. We can end the session, sir.
Okay. So Ravi, you stay in touch with them further and build a small cohort. I think all of them are from KL University. So we can get this team started with something small. They probably are in second year or so. So let us give them some basic insight into building up projects and all our active projects that we have. Let them get used to it. Maybe they can enroll themselves as student ambassadors, one of them from their college, so that we can activate the college centers. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Wish you all the best.
All right, sir.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.